We kick off this episode fresh from a colonoscopy, then travel back to the 90s when Terri leaves Kim old-fashioned directions to the biggest party of the year, including turn left at the tree. Witness the dawn of the World Wide Web, Terri's awkward conversation with a boy she doesn't like, and a little body horror you definitely didn't ask for. Welcome to Generation Artax.
Are you ready for us? All right. Come on, Kim. I'm interviewing you. Everybody knows I am the star of this show. Have we see?
Welcome to Generation Artax. I'm Terri. I'm the oldest, and I am fresh off a colonoscopy about an hour ago. Hello. Woo. Yay.
I'm Kim, and I'm the middle, and I am shocked and pleased that Terri is sitting here looking like a normal person because 2 hours ago, she Marco Polo'd us sent us a video from the recovery room at her colonoscopy, and I was like, okay, well, I guess we're not doing this tonight. That's okay.
I looked so bad.
You were like, bleh, bleh.
You're like, I could totally record. It's fine. Totally.
You're like,
do
the
it.
show must go on. I was like, okay, whatever.
I'm Lori. I'm the youngest. I'm not going to talk about Terri's ass procedure today, but the TikTok made me buy this sparkly, iridescent eyeshadow.
Which brand is that? Is it the Adriana Nicole?
No.
What color is that?
It's like a rainbow.
It looks good.
Thank you.
So fun. I love sparkly iridescence.
Yeah, I got two different ones. One's like leans very blue. So I'm like, is it too blue? It's still really fun. So
Love it.
Thanks.
Right. So on this very podcast, we brought up colonoscopies once, and Terri said she had never had one. And we were like,
because she's the oldest.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we were like, what are you talking about? That's not acceptable. It's not responsible. So she did it today. She fought through days of tears.
Yeah.
I did. It's
all that energy.
So much energy.
For nothing.
Yeah.
Well, not for nothing. It's how I cope. It's how I cope with it. Like, and it's not like I can control it. Like I was sitting there reading the instructions like the day before prep day, and I go, oh no. And I could just feel the tears. I was like, oh, because it just feels like a loss of physical control. Like you're about to do something that you're not in control of your body or under someone else's rules. I don't know. But you know who got me through it? ChatGPT. I was like, let's go over the instructions again. I uploaded the instructions, and Chat was literally like, okay, I don't think this is about the instructions. I think you're feeling like out of control and this is unknown.
Oh, really?
And that's when I started crying. Yes.
It's funny because you're not out of control. You're actually doing things that your body's responding to that you are doing.
Yes.
You are very much in control.
But it was unknown. And I said, I don't know how I'm going to react. What if I can't do this? I do tend toward like nausea and upset and panic. And I was like, what if I can't handle it? And Lori had said that she almost threw up when she was drinking it. I've heard from other people say they get nauseous. I was like, and so plus they changed my time 3 times within 24
that
hours.
sucks.
They were like,
I don't
you're
like
at 9,
that.
you're at 11, you're at 9. And they're like, actually come in at 1:30. I'm like, 1:30? I was like, I have to go 24 more hours. And let me tell you, everyone was
You were
right.
already in the middle of your prep. It's not like they rescheduled it a week ago.
Right.
I was in the middle of the prep, but they said the prep
Yeah.
doesn't change. But I will say that even though I have a mild headache and I feel slightly off, I will say that the prep part was, as people said, it's really not that bad. That part of it wasn't bad. I was like waiting for it to be bad.
That was the only part that was bad for me.
Mine was the 2
the prep
a.m.
part.
Oh, no. I didn't mind the prep whatsoever. I like barely noticed I was doing it. But the 2 a.m. wake up where I was expelling the demons, literally cold sweat pouring down my back, and I was hanging onto my walls. And then I had to lay down on the ground on the cold tile on my bathroom floor and put my face on it to take a break.
Why I was afraid.
And then I went back to expelling the demons. It was insane. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't either.
I mean, that's wild. I just had like, oh, is my stomach grumbling, whatever? And it was like, there was no pain. There was very controlled. I slept through the night. And then the next morning, this morning, they say, you got to finish your prep between 6:30 and 8:30. You have an hour to drink 32 ounces of this. And then chat, which coached me through the whole thing, said, all right, when you get to the magnesium citrate, you're going to not want to sip it. You're going to want to down it fast. And I was like, really? It's like, yes. So I put on a 2-hour movie, Hamnet. I highly recommend this movie.
Oh.
And for the first hour, fine. Second hour, I go, okay, we're going to start. I had to put this thing in the freezer. So it was ice cold. It said, use a straw and just suck it down as fast as you can. I was like, okay. And then have a wedge of lemon, chaser of lemon. So I have my chaser. I was ready to go. And I go, this must be the hard part. Because I kept waiting for the hard part. I sucked it down and I was like, you know what? It was a very sour cherry, which is,
I like sour cherry.
I don't understand how we could have such different directions. Mine was like, you can't chug it. You have to drink it. I had a window of time. I had to drink it and I needed to make it last throughout that window.
What?
I had to set an alarm for the middle of the night.
Or 10 ounces rather, just one bottle, right? One skinny little bottle. Okay. So you sipped it?
Yeah.
I feel like my directions were different than both of yours and I don't remember what they were.
So everyone's just a Wild West? Everyone just does what they want?
Yeah.
Well, either way, it worked out fine. The hardest part is that home stretch when you can't drink a drop of water, you can't have anything. So the broth thing, I was living on Jello, miso soup, fine. I'm like, this is doable.
Yeah.
But that last 3 hours when my mouth was so dry and I was like, oh my God, waited 45 minutes, then got in there to the treatment room, green room. And then they're like, okay, you'll be another half hour. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, by the time they brought me in there, I was just like, let's go. But you know what? I want to go props to the nurses at the David E. Koch Presbyterian Hospital. The nurses are really everything. They are so lovely. You lay down you're in the little bed. They roll you down. It feels like a roller coaster. I was like, I'm being wheeled through the hallways. I feel like I'm on the pit or something.
That is fun. And
it is wild. So I'm like, she's taking these turns kind of sharp. We go right into the room and they take out a blanket out of a dryer and they put it on you. It's
I forgot about that. That was
just
nice.
Like a nice touch, where you're nervous. And then I was like, I had the, port in my arm. She's like, okay, we're going to put the medicine now. I go, okay. I go, oh, and you feel your soul separating from your head. You go, okay, goodbye. Like,
I know it's such a pleasant experience leading up to your being sodomized with a camera.
Yeah. But isn't it weird when you feel yourself going to sleep? It's not regular sleep.
I was in there and I said, can you please be gentle because I have a forest of hemorrhoids in there. They're not, they're internal. And I'm like, I've been told there's a forest in there. I'm like, can you just not, I'm like, can you be really gentle? And she's like, it's the exit that matters, but I'll be extra careful. I'm like, don't pull any out with you. And I know. That's what I was afraid of, but she didn't. She did a good job. Terri, obviously yours was clear. They tell you right away, right?
Yes. Dr. Abramowitz came in and she said, she's talking to you like you've been awake for 5 hours. I was like, honey, I'm not really here right now yet, But I do love that you wake up where you started, like Wizard of Oz style. You're just like, oh, here I am. You're like,
and you were there.
And you were there and you were there. And she came in and she's like, yep, no polyps. I had to remove no polyps. She said, but I did take some biopsies.
Yeah, that was me with my
I was like,
lymphocytic colitis.
Well, I don't think I have any problems. She's like, you had mentioned some. I was like, I did. So I'm like, fine, biopsy the shit out of it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, good. Take a look at it. But otherwise there was no concern. So I was like, it's one of the most, and I'm going to say this as much as I do cry, but I cry through everything. They said it's one of the most preventative things you could do. Like, like you can't believe that people don't do it, obviously.
I know.
Because it's the one thing that they could actually look at and go, yeah, okay, you're good. Whereas other places they could miss it. So yeah, sure. I cried because I don't like getting a needle in my arm, but I called Allie from the treatment room and I was like, hey, I hate it. They're like, do you want to call a friend? I was like, yes.
I want to phone a friend.
I want to phone a friend. And she was like the sweetest woman, this woman, Maria. She's like, I feel bad for you because it's really hard to find veins on me. And I feel bad for both of us because it's going to be hard. She goes, oh no, it's going to be so easy. She was the sweetest. I go, okay. And she comes, she's like, how are you doing? And I said, can I call someone? And they're like, yeah. So I called Allie and she's like, how you doing? I was like, hey, she's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, she just like,
what else are you going to do?
She's like,
I also have that problem. I have only one vein.
You have little veins? I would think you'd have monster veins.
What the hell
I bet since you've been doing CrossFit, you have monster veins now.
You know what? I have one here.
Well,
That's
you've always
very
had that
big
one.
I have?
Yeah, I've seen it before on you. The one in front of your shoulder.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's extra. It's
But do
extra
they
these
take blood
days.
from there?
Veins gross me out.
No, I have one. It's only my right arm, and it's very light, and you gotta like squeeze it a
I'm
lot.
getting
And I
kind
gotta
of a
pump my
funny
hand a
feeling.
lot.
I'm getting a funny feeling. Can you stop?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
It
I
grosses
had a
me
whole
out.
other story.
It grosses me out
Nope,
so bad.
nope. I don't want to hear your vein story.
No
Find
blood
another
stories.
story.
Wow,
I'm getting like a
so
little like
weird about veins.
You get lightheaded about that, Kim? I didn't think you did.
if you're talking about it, like when I'm having blood taken, I can look in the other direction and be fine.
Oh,
I
really?
can mentally go over it. But if you're asking me to focus on a story about it, no, thank you.
You want to hear about the story where they had to go in my hand?
I don't.
Nope.
I don't. Nope. Veins are gross.
All right.
I can't.
If anyone listening to this ever wants to hear that story, I'm happy to tell it somewhere else, maybe on TikTok or something. 'Cause it was rough.
I will
was a
scroll
rough
right
time.
by. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
I'll tell you is they gave me a can of ginger ale and a bag of chips, and I was like,
Love ginger ale.
Love it.
That is.
What I
nice.
do have is like a 42-ounce bottle of apple juice that I did not open. I do not eat. I don't know what I thought I was doing.
Apple juice.
What am I going to do with apple juice?
Apple juice. Just keep it because sometimes you just want a little flavor.
Okay,
It's very
fine.
sugary, but
Anyway, I
Just keep it.
survived it. Everyone
Like
schedule your
moths.
colonoscopy. You should do it. I feel very proud of myself that I didn't eat
You
for
should.
24 hours. I feel really proud of myself. 36 hours,
Yep.
actually.
And it wasn't that hard, right?
yeah.
That part wasn't hard. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it wasn't.
See? And you're functioning just fine. Shows you
Pretty
that
much.
we
I'm
eat
not
too
gonna
much
feel
food.
We eat too much.
We
Yeah,
definitely eat too much.
Yeah, way too much. Because when
Yeah.
you don't eat for that long and you're like, I'm fine.
But actually, what I will say is I did hear that intermittent fasting does not work for women as well as men, and that women fasting doesn't do us a lot of favor. So I wouldn't fast a lot.
I don't think we should get into that because there's so many different studies about it.
I'm just
and
saying I need protein. That's all.
occasional autophagy is just good to give your body a chance to let the mitochondria clean it up.
Yeah.
Clean up all the bad cells.
One
And you
day.
do that by not eating.
I think there's too much biodiversity that there's no one
There's no
rule.
one thing.
Yeah.
I know. I need to be one of those things where they like swab your saliva, give a drop of blood, and then like it tells you your unique everything.
Yes.
And it probably
Yeah.
still changes day to day, by season, by mood, by hormones. Like it's like, oh, eat more raw foods. And then I saw something else recently. It was like, oh, don't eat raw vegetables. You're not a rabbit. Your body's not meant for that. And I'm
Right.
like, I don't know what to do.
But they did
Yeah.
tell me when I was leaving, don't eat any raw vegetables or fruit for a little while.
That would hurt your colon.
Yeah.
Your freshly shiny,
Yeah, you're all
spanking new
Freshly
colon.
plowed colon. Yes.
Plowed. God.
Freshly plowed. Yep. Anyway.
Ugh.
Okay. So instead of looking through my journals, I was inspired by you, Terry, when you found that letter. I have so many letters.
It's paper.
Piece of
It
paper.
was a paper. No, mine was a paper.
Hers
It
was
wasn't
an
a letter.
essay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I see what you're saying. Yes. I'm like, yes, it's on a piece of paper.
Yeah, I was
Um,
like, what?
But this is not about the letter itself. It's about, well, you'll see. So this is from Terry. It's a note she left in my bedroom. Okay.
Oh, you're going to give us a date, right?
August 12th, 1993. So it was the summer between my junior and senior years of high school.
Okay.
And this is so funny because not everyone has a writer for a sibling. No other person would get a note like this from their sibling. Okay, ready?
Oh, gosh. Wait. How old was Terry then?
Terry was in college, so she was home from college.
Oh,
I was probably like 18, 19,
so
20.
going to your sophomore year?
No,
yeah.
going to my junior year.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
that's right. And I'm going to read every word of it because everyone needs to suffer. The kids today,
Whoa.
Gen Z, Gen
Suffer.
Alpha, they can't even imagine that this is how we functioned. Okay, ready?
Oh, God.
This is how it starts. What? Could this really be a break in this bland tedium? A lifting of the fog of perpetual boredom? No,
What?
no, it can't be. But oh, yes, to our social salvation comes the DiGiacomos, the biggest party of the year.
Wait, can we pause for a second? It's a
Yes,
letter
this
to
is
you?
all-
Does it begin like
I'm
Dear
reading
Kim?
you a piece of paper that was left in my room. Yes.
I'm trying to think
well,
of the
I
Giacomo's.
was wondering if it was
Hold on a
addressed to
second.
you, or it kind of sounds like it's torn out of something that wasn't even addressed to you.
No, it was
like,
a letter to Kim.
Okay.
It's definitely to me because it says, that is, if we can find it. All I can tell you is this. Take Livingston Avenue and make a left the light before it turns into JFK with barriers.
Okay.
Remember, our shortcut to school. Follow it all the way, the windy, narrow road. Follow as it veers right and curves. Make the right turn as it straightens. This is life before GPS. This is what I'm trying to say. We took that right every day.
Did you say make it right before it straightens?
As it straightens.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's the Vegas instruction. We took that right every day. Follow that road through the light and keep going up. And then as it declines, make a left at the blinking light. The trick is now to look for Coniston Road. It will be a right turn, perhaps your second or third. If you've gotten this far, you'll find it. I told Allie A to give you directions on your answering machine. Brian's house is huge and you can't miss all the cars. He is on the right side of the road. See you there. P.S. I may not get out of work until late. No surprise if I don't get there till after 12 or 12:30. We'll see. Liz and I may pop over for a while. After midnight, I'm going to still be there.
Were you a waitress?
I was.
Okay.
She was. Okay. Point being, I was reading that to Kenzie. I'm like, do you have any idea? Like, I know they know we didn't have GPS, but this note was sitting on my car as I was going to this party. And like, no map. You just have to keep referencing it and being like, okay, next we have to in the dark.
So crazy.
It is insane.
No one can imagine it.
Well, there's also so much I don't get, because why does there need to be reference to the curvature of the road? Isn't it like
part of the directions as the road curves? That's where you take a right.
Describe the topography.
But wouldn't you just say the name of the street where you're taking that right?
Obviously not.
You didn't know them.
That's not how I didn't know the names of the streets.
Well, that's weird.
No, it's not.
No, it was just a party she'd never been to, and someone gave her directions, and she's writing them down for me.
It's like a game of telephone.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, oh, you go right here, but it feels like this. There's like a tree. There's like a mailbox. I mean, like we were using.
I mean, I get the reference points, but I feel like I definitely used street names.
Okay,
I looked at
well,
maps.
then you're better at it than me. I didn't.
I don't think I'd ever be like, when it starts to curve a little to the left,
this is what I'm saying,
after a rock.
This is what I'm
saying. It's not memory. Right. This is actually the
might
note
not
you
have
left
done
me.
it, but like this is real, and this is what I did. So there's no
that's the point. Make the right turn as the road straightens. Like, it's insane.
It's insane that you'd be driving and reading that. Like,
well, I wasn't driving yet, so someone must have picked me up. But my friends were driving, so
it was like a recitation of directions. You're like, as the world turns, make a right, and then you'd have your own interpretation of it.
Well, that's the problem. That's where I would have a huge problem.
Right.
I'd be like, it's not that straight. This is still curving a little bit. So now
we're not leaving directions for you. So I would you get to the house and then you'd go, you told me it was right, but that's not, then you'd argue over the instructions. There's like
the fact that anybody got anywhere is mind blowing.
It is. Like, I'm trying to remember that I knew how to get to the DiGiacomos.
I am not even sure I know who they are.
I do. I remember now. Brian and Scott. Yes, they were very popular boys. They had a party, of course.
Why would I go to that?
What town was that in? Because you were of age to go to parties now, and I was going to a party. I invited you to go.
Yeah,
I don't know. But like,
you invited me to go, but you're like, I'll probably pop by after midnight. Like, what?
I would pop by after midnight? Oh, that makes me so tired just thinking about it now.
It's insane. Everything about this is insane. And the build up to it, that you were like,
yeah, the build up's crazy.
But oh yes, to our social salvation comes the party of the year.
The big party of the year.
Here are the directions.
None of us were there.
Yeah.
Must have been some kind of party. I don't remember one thing about it.
It made no impact. I don't even know who
not
those
even
guys
gone.
are.
There's not a lot of confidence that you even totally plan to show up afterwards.
It's a very, very worn and crinkled piece of paper. I think we were like battling with it in the car, trying to figure out where the road straightens and where
Who
to
do you
turn.
think you went with?
Yeah, and nobody said, why couldn't you just tell us the fucking name of the road?
No one did.
That's not true that no one did. I did not have that problem.
Not in that case, they didn't. I don't know why
Clearly you didn't.
That's literally what I left her.
You were trying to get
nobody ever did that.
No, I'm saying I didn't do it. You're fighting the fact that I did a thing and saying no one would do that, but I fucking did that. I'm just saying.
Here's the paper.
Here's the paper.
Yeah, no, I understand that you.
Lori's mad that we didn't do directions different. Our whole point is life was different. We're just driving.
Oh yeah, I know. But back then, when life was different, I also looked at maps and street names.
You're better.
Okay, but she gave reference points. Like we used to go right there for school, or the shortcut to school.
There was
Like
like
she
a
was,
memory. It was like
yes,
a
It
core
was like a treasure
memory.
hunt.
It was a treasure hunt.
yes,
It literally was a
yes,
treasure hunt every time. I'd be
yeah.
like, how do I get to that person? You're always trying to find your way to a party. And it was like, then you get to the general area and you just look for cars.
You just
You're
look
like,
for
there's all the
cars,
cars.
huge
And
line
you
of
look in the
cars.
houses. Who's in the house?
Yeah, yeah. I mean that
Who do
we
you
did.
think you
I
went
did
with?
go. I did go to a lot of parties. I mean, so in that time frame, it would have probably either been Katie or it would have been Adam.
Okay.
Or like with a group, or both with a group of friends, like Adam's friends and stuff. I don't know.
So wild.
What
So
year did you
wild.
graduate, Kim? You were 94?
94.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
That is something else.
It's just beyond comprehension at this point. When you could be walking somewhere and using GPS just for walking directions, let alone driving and trying to
Oh,
manage
yeah.
that while you're driving. I mean, when we talk about technology that we would want back, I think I would die without it now.
I mean, I don't know how anyone gets anywhere, including me. It's not like we grew up that way, so we know how to do it that way. No way. In fact, I was never that good at maps. I would be very overwhelmed by a map. I'd look at it, I go, I don't know where I am on the map. And I remember thinking, why can't there be a thing where the map could tell me where I am?
No.
I remember saying that, being
Yeah.
like, why can't it just be like, I wish it would just show me where I am. That would be magic.
You know
And
what's
now it's
funny?
like-
That idea was channeling down to see who was going to take it and make it happen. You know what I
Right,
mean? It
right.
hit a bunch of people's
Actually-
brains.
Actually, when I first started my job at Merck, pharmaceutical sales, and it's just driving from doctor's office to doctor's office, and it's a territory of many, many, many towns that I'd never been to before. So, you're trying to find all these offices, and you have a huge map, like the big book or whatever. But a couple of years in, there was this girl who moved to our territory into the job from like Florida or something. And she kind of flaunted a lot. She came from money, and she was very fancy because she had a portable GPS that she could hook into her car.
Yeah.
And I remember saying, I would never use that, because then how are you going to learn where you really are?
Okay, well, hold on. Yeah, you're right though, because I was trying to drive to work the other day and I didn't have my phone on, and even though I've driven there a bunch of times, I didn't know which exit it was. And so
Right.
I started deliberately not using it, because otherwise you don't learn. It doesn't even matter. There's no muscle memory, because
Right,
your brain
right.
never even needs to form it.
Right.
But I was so like, ugh, I would never buy into that kind of technology, because then you never know where you are. And it's like,
That's the
I'm
thing.
so
I
dependent
true,
wouldn't
though.
now.
ever use a cell phone or speed dial because I need to know people's numbers.
I know, but we did know people's numbers.
I know I did.
And I still
Oh,
know
yeah.
the numbers from then.
Do you remember the year we got, what were they called? It had a name. It was like a device you would stick into your car. It was like in the early 2000s. Come on.
But
To
the
do what?
Garmin's, you mean?
Garmin.
Yeah.
And I remember getting the Garmin being like, oh my God, like satellite technology. It
had
was
a
a whole
Garmin.
thing. But
It was
before I
stolen.
knew how to use Garmin, I would just type it into MapQuest. And I thought
Yeah.
that was
Print
so
it.
advanced, and print out a piece of paper and take the paper to the car.
And that was advanced. And Joe is a late bloomer to everything. And we were dating when I was like, we got to use MapQuest. And he's like, we'll just figure it out. We've gone this far without MapQuest. And he was the late bloomer to MapQuest. By the time he caught on to printing out the directions, we had GPS.
Oh my God.
So
Seriously.
ridiculous.
You know, the hard thing about those huge books of maps is when they weren't big enough to have that whole area, and you had to go to a different
Yeah.
page.
Oh
If
my
you were
God.
driving off to the
No,
lower left,
I
you had
can't.
to
Yeah.
go to a different page.
You lose me now. Yes.
But sometimes though, I like the zoom out look, right? I like to see it big and see where you're going. So here's what I don't. So here's the idea that zapped down in my head, and I'm not going to take the steps to make it happen. So I'm hoping someone else already is doing this, because I've been thinking of this for a very long time. I still to this day think it's old school that we still have to look at our phones or the thing built in the car to see where you're going to go left and right, even though you're in the map now, and that's an option. Right. And you can see, I still can get confused, particularly if it's like a highway with a lot of exits. Like sometimes driving out of New York, there's like
Yeah.
this one area that I'm like, oh my, because then it doesn't know if you're
Yeah.
all the way to the right and you're off the highway. So I'm like, why is it that my windshield can't know where my eyeballs are and then make the road glow?
I'm
The
pretty sure
windshield.
this exists, what you're talking
In a
about, a
luxury
version of it.
car. in a
Yeah,
luxury
they
car.
have that where you can
They
see
have that?
the turns in the windshield. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I know it's going to be that road all the way up because it's the whole thing's glowing. All
Yeah,
the
it's
way,
like
right.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
but you
I didn't know they
have
had
to get
that.
like a Lexus or something.
There's
Oh.
some variation of it. Maybe it's not the best yet. I don't know what it is, but I know my Nissan doesn't have it.
Or
Well,
even
because
like,
it'll feel like looking back in time, like you have to look at a thing and then look up there.
Right.
It feels like
it's
an
Yeah,
still
extra-
antiquated. It's still antiquated.
it is. But so then even those glasses that people wear now that
Yeah.
have
Google.
yeah, like why couldn't you put those glasses on and then it does it and it
Yeah.
shows you the map and where to turn. I would buy
mean,
those.
That can't be far from a reality.
I know, but I've been thinking it for a long time and it's still not here.
Oh.
Think about how
Well-
expensive it would be to get your windshield replaced.
I know. So I'm
With
just
the
thinking
computer
maybe the
screen.
glasses is fine.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I love that idea.
Someone
When
make that
Joe and
happen.
I drove to California after college, I called AAA and I said, I'm driving from Massachusetts to California. Can you send us maps? And they mailed
What?
us. Yes.
What? They
Listen,
did that?
They mailed, because I heard that, you just call AAA. They mailed us maps that all connected, huge maps that were the whole country, where someone took a red marker and traced
No.
the highways we should take. It was only like 2 highways, because they said, what season are you going? And then, so they sent me ones for when we were on our way in the winter, so we would stay south. And then on the way back, they sent me the ones going a little more north because it was going to be warm.
Right.
Do you think someone sat there with a pen?
100%. There was a red marker tracing the highways we took. And that is what we
person
used.
lost their job since.
And like how far in
Yeah.
advance did you have to call them for them to mail it?
We decided to do it in October, and then we went the day after Christmas. So
I can't
it
even.
doesn't take 2 months for them to
It was
mail
like
you
that
now.
person whoever you talk to on the phone. It's not
They
like,
just
I'll transfer
opened a
you
map
to the
and did it.
marker department where they
No.
transfer people.
These people are all unemployed now.
yeah, isn't that crazy? And we got them in the mail. We're like, great. Now we know how to get to California. We just follow the red line.
My mind is blown. I wish you still had that. Do you think you still have it?
I know. You would think I do. I have so
I
many
would think you
things.
would.
Yeah.
I think you would.
Yeah,
Frame them.
I know. I don't.
Pictures of you at all the different stops.
Yeah, or just having them cut out and framed and have the red line going through.
I know. I
Oh,
should
well.
have
It
kept
doesn't
that. I
sound
don't
like
think
you
I have
to
it.
throw that out. Oh.
I know.
Hey, it's Terry from Generation Artax. And listen, I love a good story. Who doesn't? If you didn't, you wouldn't bother with books, TV, movies, or even podcasts. We love listening to stories, but there's also something really powerful about writing your own. You may see yourself as a reader or a listener, and maybe you wouldn't dare call yourself a writer. But here's the truth. If you can read, you can write. If there's something you would love to write, share, or get out there, there is no better or safer place to do it than this little program I run called the New Rules Studio, or Studio for short. It's a live, virtual, real-time writing space led by certified instructors where you get to explore your own ideas, your own creativity, memories, stories without judgment or criticism. Since you're a listener of this podcast, I would like to invite you to come write with me for free. You can get the invite at territrespicio.com/write with me. That's territrespicio.com/write with me.
La 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 la.
Okay, speaking of tech, used to do by hand. When I had my first and only internship in New York City right before my senior year of college.
I was
And
just thinking that.
at a big ad agency. Basically, I worked in the PR department, and it was the big one. It was the BBDO. They had Pepsi, Gillette, Pizza Hut, like big. And you had a list of all the clients they had. And
Yeah.
my job was to sit down with a pile full of newspapers, and I spent
Every morning.
the entire morning reading the newspapers, scanning for the names of the clients, so that if there was a story about Pizza Hut, I would highlight it, and they would cut it out and glue it into a book for that day. Every article. And I could easily have missed stuff, but I was like,
Yeah.
oh, there's one. I'd be like, oh, it was like bingo. I was like, oh, Gillette. There's something about Gillette, not an ad, but like a
Oh my
story. So I
God.
mentioned it. And in like 5 newspapers. And so so that's when I started drinking coffee. I got a coffee. I sat down. My whole morning was reading the paper, highlighting stuff. Then they would cut them out meticulously, glue them into a book, put it in a volume, and put it on the shelf
Oh my
every
God.
day.
You got
Google
replaced.
search.
You got replaced by Control F.
Yes, I was a Control F. I was a Google search. It's
search, right.
unbelievable that, I mean, I'd say it's
unbelievable.
unbelievable they paid me, but I don't think they paid me much at all. But still, it was really good experience for me because it felt like I was in the center of the universe. I was sitting in Manhattan with all the papers, and I was like, wow, see, I'm trying to keep up
The
to speed with
papers.
the big city, see?
Going through
Let's
the
see what's
papers.
going on with our clients, eh? And I was like, this is what my job is.
Yeah.
That's
It's very like
wild.
Mad Men feel.
Very. Let's see
Yeah.
if our 20-year-old intern happens to catch the name of our clients in the paper, and then let's
Scanning.
keep them on a shelf. And you know how much shelf space? Who's going into like July 8th? Let's see what was
insane,
printed.
right.
It's like printing Google.
But wait, that summer
Yeah.
was the same summer that OJ was racing down in his Ford Bronco. And I
Right.
remember seeing it there, like we were watching it on TV in the ad agency.
Really?
And it was all, I was like, oh, do you think he killed her? Like it was the whole OJ thing. And
Yep.
also, my friend Karina, who I'd met there, who is still my friend, was like, we have these videos, like these things that you can put on your TV, like, and we can watch videos. It's not on the TV, it's on our computer. And there was a lot of talk about what was coming. It was called the World Wide Web. And I was like, do you think this is real, Karina? Like, do you think we're actually going to be able to go on to something and like see stuff? Like, do you think that's real? She goes, oh, I think it's real. I think it's coming. That was about as real as people talking about AI. Like, I was like, you really think this is made internet?
I can tell you the first time I remember seeing a moving image on a computer screen. It
Okay.
was mom and dad's, I guess, big old gateway computer in the basement, you know, with the cow.
Yeah.
print. And it was almost like an intro disc of information or something.
Yes.
And I put it in, and it was a scene from Gone with the Wind, and I could see it, and something where she was all shocked and whatever. And when I saw it move,
Yeah.
it blew my mind, even though I've seen moving images on screens before.
Right.
Right. So it's like, I don't know why it was such a leap, but I thought it was magic. I watched it over and over. I couldn't believe that existed.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't the same as seeing games on the screen move. It was real. Like, was
Real.
Scarlett O'Hara moving on the screen,
Yeah.
which was right next to the TV where she was also moving, probably. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Right. Like, why was that a leap?
Well, because it was
right.
being controlled by a TV station, where this, you controlled it.
It was the quality. It was it wasn't pixelated,
Right.
but it moved almost with a little bit of a delay. And there was something about that just wasn't the same as watching it on TV.
Yeah.
It looked different, or maybe clearer in a way, I think. And like bizarrely vivid. And maybe the fact that it was like a little bit slower and a little bit weird was maybe a little almost uncanny valley-ish about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
It is wild that, like, we were the only generation that was that age when that happened, right? Like, just people discovered it
Just
different times as they
both.
got older, but to be in the world before and after is wild. That is why I feel like Gen X it's kind of like if people live on the moon one day and they're like, there's only a few people who used to live on Earth. That's what I feel like our generation is. That we actually straddled completely different universes. It's wild.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. What do you got?
I got a few episodes ago, I talked about how I had a friend named Heather, and I had probably some kind of mild crush. It was very innocent, but I really only wanted to hang out with her. I wanted her to myself. She had a crush on this guy, these two guys we met, and she really liked him. And then there was his friend, who of course now I'm stuck with, who was not a bad guy and not a bad looking guy, but I just wasn't into it. So I talked about last time how I was like, oh God, I just was feeling annoyed because my friend Heather wanted to hang out with her boy. And so she would use my guy to get to him. So then we had to always include my guy in things when I didn't want to hang out with my guy. So anyway, this is that same season. It's like later that summer. And I'm having another interface with the guy we'll call Mike. Nothing toxic or bad about this guy, just an average guy, whatever. I wasn't into it. So what this is, what's happening now is we had friends over. Okay, let me tell you the time. It's the summer. Hang on. June 20th, 1990.
I think you called him Roberto last time.
I did call him Roberto. No, my guy was
did?
Mike. My guy was Mike. Heather's guy was Roberto. She wanted to hang out with Roberto.
Oh, okay.
Stuck with Mike, yeah.
Okay.
Last night, everyone decided to hang out at my house again. Mom was getting a little nervous. And then I listed all the people. There's a whole bunch of people who were hanging out. I got a call. Someone said someone's on the phone for me. It was Mike calling from a payphone somewhere in Livingston. Payphone, everybody. He called unsure if he should accept my parentheses insincere invitation to stop by with Heather and Roberto. Of course, now it was just him. So it was like, can we all stop by? And I was like, sure. But now those two peeled off. So now
no.
And so now Mike is like, oh, can I still come over? I only wanted them to come over if they're coming over with a group of friends, right? Of course.
Wait, were there already people there? Because you're like, there's so many
people there,
over.
but they're cleaning up and they're leaving. It's like the end of the night. Of course, now it was just him. What would I do? Send him home when he was halfway here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You would say, nope, we're wrapping up.
You know what? Everyone's starting to leave, actually. It's, forget it.
New paragraph. Doorbell. Period.
No.
Mike stood there in a white shirt and a dark tie. We lost in court. You'll get into what that is later. He remained while everyone headed out. Remained until 3:22 a.m.
What?
Wait, when he walked in the door, he said we lost in court?
Yeah. They had had a day. We'll find out what that is later. When I say tired and weary, I mean it. I finally brought up the fact that this wasn't fair to him because I couldn't return his feelings or affection. That sounds like me. This isn't fair to you because I can't return your feelings. I told him I hated being uncomfortable and passive. I'm sure he doesn't get it because in order to spare his ego, I often circumvent the issue or bring in other people to puff up the situation. He thinks I have to or should try to work on relationships.
Oh, go screw.
Go screw. More than just friends because, quote, not all relationships can be how you want them.
Oh,
Ew.
What?
And I wrote, oh, yeah?
Oh, no.
The truth
So they have to be how he wants them?
Yeah. He goes, you'll have to work on it with me.
Oh,
Truth is, I hate the couple bit. I don't feel like this when I'm with so-and-so or someone else. I want to be psyched to go out, not complacent. I merely consent to going out with him. I told him I hated when he used collective terminology because he would say us, referring to him and his friend.
Good for you.
Don't refer to you guys, including Heather, as us. You and your friend and Heather are different than Heather and me. We are separate. Or when he referred to me and him by saying, well, what do you want to do about us?
You're like, there is no us.
I said, Mike, there is no us.
Oh,
good for you.
There never was. He says, but you can't deny there is an attraction there.
You're like, I can.
You're like, if you say so on your end, I don't know.
Yeah, Mike, what? In the beginning, looks? That's shallow. It doesn't last, I claimed strongly. I hate feeling like I do. I've told this person I'm not comfortable.
Why is he there until 3 a.m.? I don't like that.
Maybe he says you shouldn't feel like that.
Oh, you should feel differently.
Okay. Since you said so.
Yeah. Mike, you can't govern your feelings with thoughts. That's wrong. No feelings are wrong. I won't ignore them just because I don't understand them. Mike has been having horrible luck, supposedly due to his listening to Led Zeppelin, which is the root of it. Some book of Led Zeppelin tells of the black magic and pact with the devil. Yeah, whatever. I did begin to realize that he does seem to be in all the wrong places at all the wrong times. And I wondered if there was something wrong with him. The other night in some diner, some skinhead girl slapped him in the head. He, in a reflex, hit her back, and her friend sprayed his face with mace. So what is happening?
There's so much I don't know.
So then I wrote,
confused.
Well, he's just having some altercations. He's having a bad time. Maybe it would be safer for everyone if I just kept away from him.
Yes.
Or is it that maybe I'm part of his bad luck? If I told him I never wanted to see him again, he'd think that. The late night ended then as I held the glass door open to finish what I'd started. He said, okay, I'm going to kiss you goodnight now on the cheek. And the relief I felt was immense. The only thing that really nagged me was when he said, "You're scared. You are. I can see it in your eyes." Am I? Come on. I could blow him off big time if need be, and I don't. I won't try to do anything if the littlest feeling twangs in my stomach. My friends are first. He'll never intrude that much in my life. I won't let him, not because I'm scared, but because I don't want him to.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I don't like that guy. I don't like that guy at all.
I don't like him either, and I hate it, and I'm so proud of myself for standing up until 3 in the morning trying to argue my point.
Well, I'm glad you argue your point.
I should never have let him come over.
Yeah, I should. I don't think you even need to be there, and I don't think it should ever take that much time to
convincing.
Yeah, to let somebody try to convince you. In general, I'm not talking.
That's
about,
how compliant I was. I was like, I need to make my case.
Yeah.
There should be no making the case. You didn't even want him there in the first place.
I did.
And then he's like, not all relationships can be that way. Like he's trying to change the way you're thinking on it. It's like, no, dude, don't want you here.
But this sounds like, okay, well, it's teenage years, but like there's adults who are in those situations.
Right.
This is not just for kids. This is like, well, I know he's a really good guy. And what if he was a nice guy? And what if he made a lot of money? Like you could see how someone would be like, well, it's probably okay. It's like, it's so not okay. And he's like, you shouldn't feel that way. That's some fuckery right there.
I feel like, relatively recently, I've also heard you feel the need to explain yourself. You know what I mean?
Oh,
not like that, but to be like, well, I want them to know this, or I need to, and you're like, you can just be like, not interested. I don't care how you feel about that. I don't care if you know why. I don't care.
I'm trying to control and make sure they don't get a case against me. They don't get to say something. But that's stupid. That's just my own need.
Yeah,
that's
you can never control.
Yeah, because that's not acknowledging that what someone thinks of you is not your business, because it's not.
Yeah, I'm proud that I said what I said, but I also was like, why did you have to put yourself in the ring?
Right, exactly. Why did you even?
Yeah,
right. What if I was like, no, don't come?
Yeah,
but I was like, but he's halfway here. That's what the
speaking of.
Is.
Why did? Yeah, it's like, oh well, he can turn around. Then that's half a way he doesn't have to drive.
Oh well, right. Yeah, and also like, we kind of breezed over. So he hit a woman.
I know. I was like, no reaction to that. I was like, oh, some girl hit him, so he hit her back. I was like, why are you fighting with skinheads in a diner?
Why are you hitting women? I don't even. What?
I think that what he lost in court?
No, because that was the other day. I think the court had something to do with probably driving. Something was. You know what I mean? I don't know.
There's more
you were going to find out.
Yeah. I thought it was maybe the skinhead situation, but it couldn't be that you'd be in court that days later.
No.
Would you?
No.
I don't know what it was, but it just shows you. And then how funny that, well, he listens to Led Zeppelin. There's a curse.
Yeah. What is that? What was
relieve him of all of his responsibility.
That rock and roll music.
I didn't know that you ever were the type of person to think, that rock and roll music really changed that person.
No, but Led Zeppelin specifically, there was a whole thing about it was like black magic and it was devil. And if you listen to it backwards,
gives you bad luck.
It was the satanic panic of the 80s or whatever.
Yeah.
You never heard of that?
Yeah. I thought it was the other guy. Who's the other guy?
Yeah, that guy he was a horrible person.
Yeah.
He actually was a horrible person.
Marilyn Manson?
Marilyn Manson.
That was years later, Marilyn Manson. And he actually is a real shithead too.
Yeah, that was like 90s.
Yeah, that was more 90s. This was a little bit earlier. Anyway, this guy was clearly a dick. And he was also just weak. That kind of like, maybe you shouldn't feel that way. Maybe you should go home.
Oh, I see. That wasn't the tone I was getting. I wasn't getting him being weak. I was getting him being someone who doesn't take no for an answer.
Oh, no, he was real weak.
What do they say? Like if you realize you've gotten on the wrong train, get off as soon as possible so you don't find yourself in a whole other place or whatever.
Right.
Or a place you don't want to be, just get off immediately. It doesn't matter. Oh, he's halfway there. Okay, sorry, you guys got to turn around. Saves you a drive.
Can you imagine people coming to your house at midnight? Like imagine the number of times our doorbell rang when we're talking about people coming to the door. I know. Like that was crazy. A big thing. A lot of people coming to the door all the time. Awful.
I had people who would come and people would come and throw rocks at my window. like out of a movie.
Like romantically?
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, that was fun. But yeah, a couple different people did that.
It is
Late
very
at
Prince
night, throwing
Charming.
rocks, knowing
Did
that
you?
I had a no, I
No,
was
she
it
was happy
with
about
people
it.
I wanted.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh.
But
To my window.
no, like if people knew I had a friend over or whatever, and they would come with a friend and like, throw rocks at the window or whatever, and then we'd come out.
Well, that sounds delightful. This was
It's
not
so
delightful.
fun.
Did you climb out the window? Like
No, I
jump
just
into the
walked out
bushes?
the
No.
door.
Just went downstairs.
You
We were
could. It
living
had
in
a little
Maryland.
ledge thingy, I think, that you could.
Oh my God, no.
No, I never
were
climbed
just-
out my window.
We were like letting people in at all hours, though. We sort of lived a little bit of a loose
Yeah.
existence.
Yeah, we
Maybe
did.
you did more than me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't. I always just had my.
You just
My
had your
main
good
group.
friends over. Yeah.
Yeah.
You weren't entertaining strangers. I had a lot of strange.
I mean, I had
boys in
Brian, but like, we didn't have like parties or anything like that. There were other places that did that. But so if I did go to any kind of parties, they were always at someone else's house, somebody weirdly rich, a couple different people like that. And then, but then if it was like me and my friends hanging out, it would always be my house because we could be loud and all that. And it was just more comfortable. And because we
Yeah.
smoked in the kitchen. Bleh.
Oh my
Just,
God,
like
yeah.
loud
cloud
of
of cigarette
cigarettes.
smoke.
So gross.
Gross.
So gross.
Bleh.
But now when I smell cigarettes, it just smells like it's very
That
happy,
time.
like memories. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, really?
it's so funny. Like we'll be like, there were times where I don't know where we were. We're all walking somewhere with the kids, and the smell of smoke came by, and like all the kids were like, "Bleh," and Gordon and I were like, oh, it smells so good. I was like, I love that
That's
smell.
so funny.
Was
It
Gordon
does.
still there?
He was. Well, yeah. I mean, at one point, he told me that he literally told me yesterday that he was smoking a pack a day, like the day before we met. I was like, what?
How did he quit? That's
What?
really hard to quit.
He does other nicotine related things. Also, I was like, I didn't tell you to quit.
A pack
I
a
wouldn't
day
have
is a
minded.
lot. A pack a day is a lot.
Pack a day.
Yeah,
It takes a lot of time.
It does. Yeah. Oh, it is a lot. I don't think he'd been smoking a pack a day his whole life up until that point. It was, a phase. We were watching, I put Sex and the City on because I was like, I want something I know really well but haven't seen in a while. And so
Yeah.
we're just letting it go. It was actually the episode. It's really funny now. It doesn't age well. It was the episode about how Terri started dating a guy who was bisexual. And then there was all questions. It was all conversation about like, oh, is there really such a thing as bisexual? It was very binary, whatever. But then they
Didn't
go
age
to this.
well.
I did not. And it was just funny because they go to this party and Alanis Morissette is in the episode. And so then they decided, let's play Spin the Bottle. And she's like 7th grade Spin the Bottle. And they're like, yeah. And they sit down. And Alanis Morissette, the first two people was a guy kissing a girl. And then Alanis Morissette spins the bottle, lands on Carrie, and she's like, oh, landed on a girl, spin again. And then she's like, I don't mind. And then there's like a slow motion kiss scene between the two of
Oh
them.
my God.
Oh,
But
that's
like,
funny.
yeah, but like Sarah Jessica Parker, as Alanis Morissette is climbing across the circle towards her, she's still dragging on a cigarette and smoking, and then still holding the cigarette pretty close when they start kissing. And we're like, oh, remember that? Just smoke like right in your face when we were kissing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh. And he had told me that he was still smoking a little bit when we had met. I was like, how do you hide that?
Yeah.
It's so hard to hide.
really
I
hard
was
to
like, I
hide.
don't know how you did that. So we always have a TV show on at night. So we got into bed and we left Sex and the City on. So it was on all night. And then Gordy woke up in the morning.
Can't believe you sleep with the TV
With the
on all
TV
night.
on. You're dad.
I'm dad.
You are dad.
Oh, I
Oh
am.
my God, it's so bright.
How can
Oh
you
my
sleep with
God.
sounds and things happening in your ear?
I can't sleep unless it's on because my mind will start going. And
That's
so
why I read.
in 1,000 different places. I do that too now, but I go a lot of different places, but I can put those on and close my eyes and I can see the whole scene because I've seen them so many times.
Yeah.
And I know what's going to happen. So I'm like, it helps me keep my mind on one track.
It's a
and
bedtime
then I fall
story.
asleep.
It's a bedtime story.
And
that
the
you
only,
know.
yeah. And the problem with reading is that I'm excited to know what happens
Oh.
next. So I'm not.
You have to watch a show you know.
Yes, it
Oh,
always
I
has to be
see.
something I know. I'm not watching something I don't know. Right? So it has to be something I can see in my head. And I can with Sex and the City. I've seen them enough. But Gordy doesn't know them all really well. And so I woke up in the morning and he had been awake, but his eyes were like half closed. And so it was kind of new to him. Like he doesn't know the whole plot line. He did watch and just like that with me, but he doesn't like know all the
But now you're like
stories.
3 seasons in by morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was the Aiden time. By the time we woke up, she was with Aiden, right? But it was like it was the second time I think we went to sleep when she was first with Aiden before the breakup. And then while she was cheating on him with Big, by the time we woke up in the morning, she was back with Aiden when he was like, had short hair. Like it was the second round. He was like, I woke up and I moved around. He's like, his eyes were still shut. He's like, I've been listening to this all morning and Carrie's such a bitch. Like, why didn't Aiden leave her? Like, he gets very invested if he's watching. If you put anything in front of him, he will totally get into it, which is fun. But I was like, I know. She's really jerking him around.
We know you've heard Generation Artax, but are you subscribed? Hit the follow button wherever you listen to podcasts. That's one less thing to worry about and one more thing to look forward to. We'd love to keep this show going, and you can help. Please rate and review. Thanks.
La, 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 la.
Okay, and we're back. Now it's time for a segment we call Unrelated, where one of us asks the others a question that is totally unrelated to anything that came before, although this time it's not totally unrelated. I wanted to ask, what procedure of any kind, anything, we're not going to talk about veins, we're talking about like any medical or beauty procedure, something where you went and sat in a chair and someone did something to your face, your body, whatever, that was like, has a sense memory that you're like, whoa, I will never forget that feeling.
Good or bad?
Good or ill.
Oh.
Either like, wow, I felt amazing, or like, wow, no. Like something.
But procedures, you're often like under anesthesia.
No, I don't even mean, doesn't have to be that you went under, but it had to be that there was either you're going to get something done that was very, or you were getting a big physical change, like braces, for instance, something where you're getting work done by someone that felt like transformative for you.
Well, that's easy, but it's recent in life. For me, yeah.
What?
I have scalp micropigmentation.
Oh, I thought you were going to say your hernia.
That wasn't... Oh, I thought you mean like cosmetically.
Well, no, it could
I
be
know.
either.
I'm so confused by this question because you're like that changed you. You have a sense memory about, but any procedures like hernia, you're under anesthesia, so you don't have a memory of it.
Like we talked about you being in the hospital and how that was an experience.
I don't know why I thought the way you phrased it, I thought you were talking specifically about. Didn't you say a hair
She
appointment?
included that. No, she said beauty or any kind of procedure on your body.
Yeah, but I still thought that would mean like a nose job, but not that any of us had gotten that. But I still thought the family of what was meant to be.
I just don't think you guys have had that many but yes, Laura, you have had a recent one that changed your life.
Well, I didn't have any other procedures or surgeries or anything that made me feel. I guess
I don't think I've had anything done.
Well, that's not true. I guess getting my tubes out and my ablation. That one is a game changer too.
Why was that a game changer though?
Because I haven't had my period since.
Oh, right. No more period. That's a big one. Yeah.
Huge.
Huge.
But the scalp micropigmentation changed my life equally, probably more. And that's a process where they basically tattoo your scalp with tiny little dots to look like hair follicles. So that if you have incredibly fine and thinning hair where your scalp is super, super visible, which mine has been since I was 18 and getting progressively worse. And then I researched and found this amazing place and got, I think I got eight times I went.
Wow.
Which was like anywhere. The first one was 3 hours. And after that, everyone after that was probably an hour and a half.
Wow.
Over my whole head and tattooed my whole head. But it doesn't look like a Lego. Don't look like a Lego head. There's a wrong way and a right way to do it. And they do it the right way. And I just
You were
need to make sure I know
18
when it started
when
thinning.
you noticed that your hair was that thin?
It wasn't that thin. It's when I started noticing it thinning.
Wow, that's a longer time ago.
Really?
Yes. And remember, it was Corinne, because she was doing my hair for dancers and we put it in a bun and she always helped me with it. And then my senior year, I was like, is my bun like smaller? And she just goes, yep. Like really fast. And I was like, oh, like my hair is getting thinner, huh? And she's like, yeah. I was like,
wow.
Shit. And then in college, when I cut my hair super, super short, from whatever, I could notice that you could see through it. That was the first time I noticed that because it was so short, so it wasn't like leaning on top of you. So you could like through. And then obviously when I went on the real world and then came off and everyone on the fucking internet was talking about how I was bald. So
nice. Very nice.
Very
awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. Or I don't think I would have known it was that bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you have the whole
Without
world
that.
looking at you, it's like,
yeah, but I didn't know. You imagine not knowing you had a flaw that was that bad until everyone else in the world was like, oh, look how terrible. Scalp New England. That's what they're called out of Peabody. So yeah, I spent my whole found topic when I was with Tim, 2009. And that's, the hair fibers. And
topic
then was
shaking on your head like a
sprinkle on every day.
Like a pepper, like peppering your head. Wore that every day since 2009 until I got my scalp micropigmentation, and now haven't worn topic since.
Wow.
It's wild.
I mean,
it's wild. Yeah, last year, many years. I mean, it never totally goes away. It fades to gray, which is great if I go gray, right? Because then it's already there. But then you can do like refreshers. You never have to do the whole thing over again. You shouldn't, because then eventually you will look like a Lego head that someone like painted your whole head black, right? It has to look.
Oh, that's what you mean by Lego head. I was
sorry, like those, the hair that you like plop on top of the top of the Lego.
So it's called Scalp New England. I want people to know about it because no one talks about this thing. And so you went 8 times over the course
he is busy. So he's like, he gets jammed up. What?
Well, they're not the only places. Places other in the country, I'm sure.
No, but that's the thing.
It's not a lot of places. No.
Okay.
And you could do it very. I did a lot of research. I joined all the Facebook groups and Reddit groups, like everything from both sides. People who were learning how to do it, people who got it, like botched scalp micropigmentation threads where they would show like a horrible straight dark line like across their forehead, like so terrible. People had to get like tattoo removals and then do it again. He did. This owner, it happened to him.
Oh.
And now he does it. And he has it on his head too.
Like, you went over the course of what? It was 3 months to get it done? 6 months?
Yeah, because you need
time in between.
You need time in between, anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks in between for him to see how the ink absorbs, to make sure there's no irritation of your scalp, things like that. To make sure it doesn't, it could spread a little bit. You want to make sure that like where the ends of those dots are, so you don't put the next dot too close to it and get a Lego head.
It's an art.
It's an art. Oh my God.
And now you don't
just
think about it.
Life.
You couldn't swim because you
could not swim.
Right.
Couldn't put my head under. So we were at it was a year ago in June. We went to a water park with our kids, and I was like, "You ready, Gordy?" And that was my first time in a pool. And he's like, "Oh my God." And I was like, "Watch this." And I like just dove under the water and came up. He's like, "Oh my God." It was crazy.
Yeah, that's a game changer.
That's a game changer.
That was huge. I know. People online will know that men get it. But he said 40% of his business is women, but you wouldn't know it from their website. Because he's like, the women won't agree to like have their pictures on there. Yeah. Because they're embarrassed because
but so are men. It's not easy for men to lose their hair either,
I know,
but anyway, if you're having that issue,
that was mine.
Worth looking into is a thing that people don't know about.
Go to Brian at Scalp New England in Peabody, Massachusetts. People travel. He had somebody who kept coming back from England.
Wow.
Yep. He was flying back and forth.
I wish he would train people so that
he does. I was there with like apprentices were there, and they were
so if you're a cosmetologist, you want to get it, or a tattoo artist, and you want to get into this is a very untapped market, I would say. Yeah. That's fantastic. Kim, what about you? Did you ever have any procedures?
I do know what mine is. Yeah. Ooh. When I got LASIK surgery on my eyes.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
That was a game changer. Because I had contacts. I needed contacts or glasses in 6th grade. And then I never wanted to wear glasses, so I never did. I went straight to the contacts. Wore them every single day.
Glasses.
I've never seen you in glasses.
Right. No. She's never worn them.
It's bizarre to me that you didn't wear them or didn't want to wear them. Because like we all wear them.
Yeah, I don't know. So I just never did. And so I wore contacts every day in 6th grade, starting in 6th grade, every day through. And they were the kinds you had to wash every night. They didn't have dailies.
They didn't have disposables.
Ugh, I had to wash them every day. It's like crazy. And then even through college, that was so annoying. And so in year 2000, I think, where, like I said, I was working for Merck and I heard that LASIK surgery was covered under our insurance, whatever insurance we had, until the end of the year. And so everyone was rushing to get it. So I did it in like December and I paid $100 for each eye.
What?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Okay, how long? No, tell me everything. So you go in and they put you to sleep, I'm assuming?
No, you have to be awake because you have to
blah, 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 blah.
you have to focus your eyes in a
I
certain
know you
direction.
can't hear about veins, and then we're talking about you
They
slicing your
cut her eyeball
open.
open.
So
Joe
what did you
took me.
see?
Joe took me. We were living with Terri and Bridget at
Yeah.
the time. No, I went in. They gave me a Xanax. Everybody gets one, so you can just be calm. I was like, I
You
don't
get a
need it.
Xanax, and you get a
Yeah, yeah.
Xanax.
And I was like, I don't think I need it. They're like, no, take it. And I was like, okay. And then Joe watched on the screen outside of
screen?
the room. He watched my eyeball. He watched them do it.
Okay.
And they slice it open. They have me, I was awake. They had me focus. They numbed my eyeballs. They had me focus on a dot in front of me. They're like,
what if
just
you
look at that.
accidentally, or like just from an impulse, like just
I
impulse being like,
don't-
what if I look that way really fast?
I know.
You don't fuck around.
I don't know. I don't lose my eye. So you have to focus on a dot, and they sliced it open, and it's really just the shape of the cornea and how the light comes in. And so they just flatten it. And I had an astigmatism in my right eye and whatever. So it didn't take long. It was really quick. They just slice. And it's not like they're sewing them back up. They just flap it back over and it all blends. I don't know.
How do you wake up?
Wow,
with
it just
cut eyeball?
regenerates like that?
Like
You have an
laser.
eyelash in your eye. It is so painful. How do you walk out of
They
there?
numbed
They
my
numbed it.
eyeballs.
Yeah, but when the numbing runs off, your eyeball's been cut in half.
Well, apparently it just goes and just
Yeah, like
grows back
yeah,
together.
just like went right back. So I just remember we left and we got in the car and Joe was driving. It was in Taunton, Massachusetts. And so we were driving back to Newton and my eyes just felt like I had sand in my eyes. And so they're
Ooh,
like,
that's
just go home and
terrible.
sleep. Yeah, not
Okay.
like
Did
painful.
you have
It was
something
just
over your
they're just
eyes? Were you blindfolded?
no,
Oh,
no, I
I
don't
thought
think
they would
so.
have done that. Okay. Okay,
Oh,
so
I
you went to
did.
sleep.
Maybe I did. No, you're
Okay.
right. Maybe I did. They gave me something to sleep. So they're like, go home and just sleep. And then it'll wear off that like that gritty feeling will go away. So we're in the car and I lifted the bandage and I
No.
kind of squinted and I could read the license plates on the car in front of me. And I was
Already?
like, oh, immediately. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I can read the license plates. And he was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And I put the bandage back on. I went home, took like a 3-hour nap and woke up and I could see
that's
the
it?
leaves on the trees. It was
A miracle.
magical. I couldn't
Wow.
believe it. I couldn't believe I never had to do anything again. Like it was like one of the best things I've ever done in my life.
And your eyes, you go to the eye doctor every year?
No.
You should go.
Your like close-up vision hasn't changed at all?
Yeah, I see that it's going a little bit. It's not like dramatic. I'm the only one when I go out to dinner with any group of friends. I'm the only one who still doesn't take out glasses
to look at the menu.
Oh.
Yeah.
to look at the menu. I'm not quite there yet. I can still see, but I can see that it's fading a little. But
Oh.
but that has
That's
nothing to do
unbelievable.
with the laser. Like that
Yeah.
just happens to everybody. But
Yeah.
game
that's like-
changer.
it's like these things you get done that through the modern science or whatever that literally change how you function in the world. And for me,
Every day.
I will say that it was also my ablation when I had an ablation done. An endometrial ablation is when they go in. It is not a surgery. They go in through your actual canal. They go up into your uterus and they essentially laser out the inside of your uterus.
They like
how
light it on fire.
you know how blood collects every month and the skin and the blood sheds, and that's why you get a period. Well, this kind of gets rid of that. For some people, they get ablations and they do have a light period, but it got to a point where I had to do something because I was bleeding more weeks of the month than I wasn't bleeding. Like it became so bad that I was bleeding all the time, and not like, oh, just a little spotting. It was like I had a full-on period. It was so, and I'm going to just get real graphic. It was so heavy. And I'd always had a heavy period and stuff, but this was crazy. It was like fibroids and stuff, whatever. We didn't know what was going on in there. The period was so bad that I would have it maybe for 2 or 3 weeks and full blast.
Oh my God. I
Well,
don't
I
even
would
think
put
I
in
remember
It's
that.
like
It's super-
expensive just trying to deal, right?
just to
Like
deal with it. You can't, it is like, it interrupts your life. I was at a comedy show going to see comedy, and I had put in a tampon. Maybe sometimes I would try to put in 2. No, I
did
would
too.
put in like dish thing that you put in there, and a tampon, and 2 pads, 2. And I was there, and my friend came in. I go, "Oh my God, hi." I stood up and hugged her, and I felt myself go straight through everything. And I went to the bathroom. I had bled straight through all of it through my jeans. I had to go home. I took a cab home, changed, and came back. And it was in time for the rest of the show. But I was like, nope. It was like someone turned on a blood faucet, and you're like, oh, everything's just going to come pouring out. There was no way to stop it.
You're
So I
like,
was
how am I alive?
Yeah.
Like, I must be seriously iron deficient at this point.
Yeah.
Like, how can you even produce that much blood?
I don't know. It was like, no wonder I crave red meat, you know? But it was
Oh.
so bad. And I'm like, I can't literally live like this. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, do I need to get a hysterectomy? Of course not. That's very invasive. You only do that if you really need to. But then you guys had the ablation, and I asked my
I didn't.
gynecologist about
Kim
it.
didn't.
Oh,
I did.
Lori said something about it. And then I said to my doctor, can I get an ablation? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, why aren't you advertising?
Right.
Yeah. Why didn't you offer that?
Why didn't you offer it? And why don't the people who do that, like sell that, whatever that procedure is, like, why don't they market it? Because do you know how many people I'm responsible for getting an ablation? A lot. Because people go, well, don't you need a period? Well, don't you? No, you fucking don't. If you don't want to have kids anymore or ever.
Or you're done. Yeah. Or you never,
or you're done. They'll be hesitant to do it on a younger woman because they think, well, you'll change your mind. You'll come around.
Right.
I knew I never wanted to have kids. Finally, I'm old enough. They're like, it's fine. And they went in there. It was outpatient. So just like the colonoscopy, you go in, go to sleep, you wake up, you leave. I was a little crampy. I went home, went to bed. When I woke up in the morning, I was like, I am free of the demon. I felt so light, and I expected to have pain. I had a lot of painkillers with me. They said, take these home. I never took, I think I took an Advil the next day. That was it. And I have a picture of myself. I took of myself it was summer at a cafe, having an iced coffee outside. I have a sundress on and a hat. And I took a picture of myself, and I was like, this is the new me. I'm light and airy. I'm light as a feather. Never had a goddamn period again. Never missed it. Don't need it. Still ovulate. People go, duh, 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 duh. I still have my, not anymore, I don't, but I had my eggs, you know, whatever. You're, what the fuck?
What's
Your
that?
Fallopian
ovulators.
tubes.
No.
You still ovulate?
Ovaries.
Ovaries. Fuck. I still had the ovaries. What happens? They release an egg, and it just slides down a slide into infinity. It doesn't.
Yeah, I got rid of my slides. I got rid of
your slides.
fallopian tubes.
I got rid of my slides too.
What I say, the best way to describe an endometrial ablation is that they take your finished basement and they turn it into an unfinished basement. So it's just like all cement and brick in there, nothing to cling. It's clean as a whistle. She told me she showed me a picture. I was like, what even is that? She's like, yeah, I had a couple fibroids. It was a fucking mess in there. So I'm saying this as a PSA. If you are done with kids of a certain age, you do not need a period. Let me shout out to my lesbian friends, because all you bleeders who don't want kids, you're not a breeder. You don't have to be a bleeder. Stop it already. Get it done. Why don't they hire me? Should I call this company and be like, you should put me out there? Get it done. And one day you tell them that you're having cramps and you don't need to bleed because this is a stupid thing you've been doing, and never get a period again.
I learned it from the girl who did sell it to doctors.
Oh, so you got it from a pharma rep?
Yeah.
How? How did you interact with her?
She was a member of the country club back in my country club days.
Oh, so she told you about it?
Yeah, she told me what she did for a living.
Why aren't doctors?
And I was like, what the hell is that?
About it? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Endometrial ablation, people, look it up, get it done.
No,
and get your head tattooed and get your eyes LASIKed.
I'm perimenopausal. I don't really get a period anyway.
You don't get it anyway? Okay. Let me just tell you, I would never do LASIK because it's terrifying to me. I can't stomach it. But then my doctor told me I was not a candidate.
Yeah, I wouldn't be a candidate.
Because it dries your eyes out more. My eyes are so dry, I can't.
Oh. I mean, there are so many horror stories about it that are really scary.
Yes.
And then, you know, but I don't know. I was 20, whatever. I was like 22 and I was like
$100.
Yeah. I'm like, sure. slice open my eyeballs. It was worth it.
So what are we going to talk about in like 5-10 years from now? We're going to be like, you know what? I'm so glad I got a facelift. Like, what else are we going to get done?
I don't know.
I'm not getting a face. I can't do anything to my face because my skin's so sensitive. I will be the one that has the reaction. I told when I saw my friend Keith recently, I was in New Jersey and I was like, just so you know, the topic his girlfriend brought up, I don't know, Botox or something. And I was like, I can't ever do it. So every time you see me, I'm just going to look a little older forever and ever.
But why?
There's no stopping it.
Facelift has nothing to do with your moisturizer. What are you talking about? A facelift, it's pulling up.
I was talking about Botox, but
Botox.
I can't do that.
No.
I can't do that.
I don't feel like the need to do Botox. Laura, are you doing Botox?
No.
Would you do it?
No, I don't. No, I don't. I have these. I have what they're called 11 lines. I don't love them, but I got frownies. They've been around since the 1800s.
Yeah, they have been around a long time.
They fucking work.
Do they really?
Insane. And that's with like just if you just use it once, you wake up in the morning and they're like gone. And if you use them regularly, it's supposed to like really, really help. I don't know how the hell I tried it one day. I was like, what's this gonna do?
Not gonna work,
right? I took it off in the morning and I freaked out. I was like,
use it every night.
Magic. You don't have to, but you can every once in a while because I get up in the morning and then like I'll look at my phone and I make this face while I'm looking at my phone. And then I go to the bathroom and then it's like from the squinting, it's like red. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But and I squint a lot because my vision's getting worse and worse. But no, but I don't.
Glasses.
I need to get new readers. Yeah. It's the close up that's getting worse and worse every year. My astigmatism is literally exactly the same since my freshman year of college. That hasn't gotten worse. But anyway, I wouldn't want to do Botox because I don't like how it reduces your expression.
Yeah, that's the thing.
The idea of putting cement in my face grosses me out.
It's not cement.
Basically,
it's a toxin. It paralyzes your muscles.
How
long do you think I have till I have to get a blepharoplasty?
I don't think you'll ever necessarily have to get one.
I feel like I have to have one now.
Is it preventing your being able to see?
No, but look how
then you're fine.
Look how flappy and old my eye looks.
You wouldn't look like you though.
Yeah,
if they pulled my eye and I would look a little different.
I look at pictures of what I look like 10 years ago and my flat lid is not flat anymore and it's like sunken back like a white person.
Yeah, you're less Asian.
So what are you saying?
I'm less, I know. So I look less Asian and it really makes me sad because I look at pictures of how I looked before and I was like, I kind of feel like what my eyes look like were kind of my thing. And I don't have those eyes anymore.
You had more of a fatty lid and now
no, I had the opposite. It's like very thin lid. Oh, I did have fattier
You had
lids.
a fattier lid.
I did. And now they're thin and they sink back and it's not the same shape. So every once in a while I have to literally use makeup to try to make the illusion. I have to try to make all of this one color so that it looks like it's flat. Yeah. Where the shadow is, I have to make it lighter to make it look like there's no shadow. It's like all this work to try to make me look.
Meanwhile, have you ever looked at people before and after blepharos? They look great. Their eyes look so wide and open.
They look awake.
Do you think I look sleepy? I am sleepy. No. I'm exhausted.
I am too, actually.
All right. Well, I think that's good. We did it.
All right.
Me and my colon are going to bed.
Okay.
That's enough.
That's enough.
This episode of Generation Artax was produced by us, edited by us, and hosted by us. Our theme music is by Danielle Musto. Art and design by Ryan Andrews of ryanmade.com. Please follow, rate, and review to help save more Gen Xers from the swamps of sadness. Follow us on Instagram at Generation Artax, that's ARTAX, and visit us at generationartax.com.